Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Rewind That. It's your girl Miss K. If this is your first time coming across my channel, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe if you like the vibe and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Alright guys, today we are going to be going over the latest episode of BMF Season 1, Episode 4 called Heroes. Alright, and the episode starts off with another flashback of Meech in a corner store or like this local convenience store, right? And he sees a girl he likes named Simone, and she's with one of her friends, and he tells her that it will be cool to take her to this dance. But things go left when Simone and her friend find out that Meech is paying for his groceries with food stamps, okay? So when he goes outside, Pat walks up and lets him know that he saw what happened and to never be ashamed of where you come from. Then Pat gives Meech some money and tells him to flex on them chicks, okay? This is when we hear Big Meech narrate that Pat was the biggest drug dealer in Southwest and he had respect from everybody, okay, cops included. Meech says that after his father, Pat was the man he looked up to the most. Next, Meech and Terry get to the new stash house and Kato comes in there with Hoop, okay? And this is all minus B Mick, right? So Meech wants to know why Mickey did not show up, okay? Because it's unlike him to not show up without giving them word about it. So Meech tells Kato to wait outside while they give the product to Hoop. During this time, you also find out that the 50 boys are almost out of product to sell. So Meech goes to Pat and he tells him that they need way more product and he wants to buy, I think, 3 keys up front, right? And y'all already know that Pat came up with a bunch of excuses telling Meech that he can't handle it and that he could give him some crack to sell instead. But when Meech tells Pat that he doesn't want crack, Pat gets a little hostile with him and tells Meech to take it or leave it. So Rock takes Meech to the back to hook him up, right? And when Meech starts complaining about Pat and letting Rock know that he's not stupid, he knows Pat is on crack, Rock tells Meech that the reason Pat ain't allow him to buy the 3 keys is because he doesn't have it. Rock lets Meech know that Pat Ben fell off. And if Meech wants to get down with Rock, to just say the word. Like, if you want to get down with a new game, a new plug, whatever, let me know. So Meech takes this info to T, and T wants to take Rock up on his offer. But Meech says that they should just mess with K9 from Brewster's, even after T advises him that they shouldn't do it because according to him, them project dudes are grimy, okay? But once again, Meech didn't listen to T. But it also looked like Meech was feeling some type of way about walking away from Pat, so working with K9 over Rock seems to be less treacherous to him at the moment, right? Next, T is at the mall with Wanda, his little sister, and the baby, right? And they're shopping for the baby's christening. So while T takes this kid Darius into the sneaker store with him, Foot Locker, he's approached by Lamar and the rest of 12th Street who happen to be there as well. So Lamar and his crew start to press T, but Wanda and Nicole show up with the baby, so Lamar falls back and even drops some cash for diapers, which made no sense because he already know that T don't need that money, okay? But I guess Lamar was thinking that T is going to need it sooner than he thinks because he about to rob them blind, okay? But anyway, who knows what Lamar on 12th Street was going to do to Terry if his family didn't show up, But at least Lamar had the decency to fall back because nowadays people don't care, they don't care if your family or your kids are around, okay? Next, the Drano operation wants to know where Famel and J-Mo are, especially J-Mo, who they think might be dead, all right? And even though Detective Bryant and another detective was saying that there's more evidence pointing to the fact that Lamar might have something to do with this than anybody else. Detective Lopez was over in the corner like, I ain't buying it. You could tell he is going to be a major annoyance. Anyway, next, Meech and T are at a bar where they're supposed to be meeting somebody named Big L, but they think he doesn't show up. So T's like, listen, we did it your way. Now can we give Rocks Connect a shot? All right. Next, Lamar causes a scene at the food truck by putting the secret menu on blast. So Hoop decides to close the food truck. But a few scenes down the line, he realizes that it was all a part of Lamar's plan to get the 50 boys to post up in one place, right, by the food truck, which would leave the stash house unattended. So Hoop tells Kato that he sees through Lamar's plan and runs to the stash house. And we'll get back to that soon, guys. Next, we finally meet Meech's baby mother and his daughter, Nene. We could see that Meech likes to pop up when he's ready, okay? But Lori still lets Meech come in and see his daughter real quick, then lets him know that a woman has needs also, so let's get to the bedroom. Then she kicks Meech out because he thought he was the only one who could play the game, okay? Next, T and his parents sit and talk with the lawyer Karen, and she lets the family know that she's going to do everything she can to get them a good settlement. But when she leaves, Charles says he doesn't trust her because she's Pastor Swift's niece and because he doesn't think she's a good lawyer. Anyway, he lets them still know that he will not be staying for dinner, and that's when T steps in and tells his dad that now is the time to be fighting to keep the family together and not letting his pride tear them apart. Then he dropped the mic on him and walked away, guys. Next, T and Meech go to this upscale restaurant to meet up with a connect named Ron Batten. This was supposed to be a meeting that Rock set up, right? I also like this scene because Meech got to find out that his money can't buy him everything, okay? And that he needed a membership in this place. Anyway, as they sit at a table, a waiter brings over some drinks with a note that tells them to meet whoever in the back gardens. But when they get there, Meech and Terry are greeted by a few men with some guns, okay? And they are forced to get inside a van. Meanwhile, Hoop gets to the stash house to see that his suspicions were right and they were robbed. Unfortunately, they were still there and started shooting at him. And he was able to shoot one of the guys in the foot or leg, but Lamar shows up and sprays the place up, okay? And I thought Hoop was done for sure, but as Lamar was about to finish him off, here comes Kato to the rescue, shooting at Lamar and sending him running. And of course, she only did this to make herself look like she wasn't the one who set them up, right? We also see that later on she has to explain this to Lamar, who was pissed that she had the nerve to shoot at him. He let her know that the only reason why he let her live is because her father was a good dude, but not to ever raise a heater at him again. Next, Meech and T are brought to a desolate location, and after having their blindfolds removed, they see Pat and Rock waiting for them, and there's a grave dug out. So now Meech and T see that they done screwed up, right? Pat tells them that he knows everything that goes down in these streets, and they thought they was going to go behind his back with another plug. Anyway, so as Meech pleads with Pat to leave T out of this, to their surprise, Pat swings the shovel at Rock and beats him to death with it. Then he tells Meech and T to clean up the mess and leaves them to bury Rock. This situation definitely screws with T's head, and we see this later on during his baby's christening, okay? Next, B-Mick finally shows up, guys, but he's also with Hoop, and they let Meech know that the stash got robbed. So when Meech asks where B-Mickey has been, he tells Meech that his mother was in the hospital. But anyway, they all try to figure out who could have told Lamar where the stash was, and Meech guessed it right away, Kato. But Hoop and Mickey, they both say that they doubt it was Kato. And let's just see how long she's going to be able to keep getting away with this, you know? And even in this scene, we see the tensions continue to grow between Mickey and Meech. You know, they're not getting along. And in this scene, Meech just swung on them. So it's just problem after problem, guys. And I just want to know, is Mickey going to betray him or not, right? And with this chick in the picture, Kato, to me, it's looking that way, but you never know. Next, while the Flannerys christen T and Wanda's baby, J-Mo's body is found in the Detroit River. And this was a little disturbing to see, guys. You know, it's sad regardless of the fact that J-Mo was their competition. It's just all sad anyway, you know. All right, so now Detective Bryant and Lopez thought it was a good idea to show up to the church and take Meech in for questioning. But since they didn't have a warrant, Meech tells him that he's going to have to politely decline. Unfortunately, this ruined Charles's appetite because he had just decided that he was going to go out with the family and eat, right? But after the detectives showed up, he changed his mind because he obviously is disappointed in his son's life choices. Next, Kato shows up to Mickey's house and decides that she's going to forget about her rules and let him hit, okay, guys? So, yeah, like I was saying, this is going to make things even harder for Meech, okay, with these two teaming up. Next, after telling his twisted side of the Three Little Pigs, Lamar puts his daughter to bed, then goes out into the living room to give Mo a diamond necklace. And even though Mo tried to act like she wasn't trying to let Lamar have none or touch her, she changed her mind real quick when she looked at that necklace again, okay? And they got it in on the couch. Next, the woman from the bar pulls up on T, and he finds out that she was actually Big L, who they thought never showed up that night, right? Anyway, Big L tells T that she liked how he handled himself that night and wants to work with him and only him. And that's the condition that she has, right? And Terry was definitely down, okay? Now, to me, this was kind of good for Meech. You know, it's kind of what he gets because He's a little too loud with his stuff. You know, he draws too much attention. And that night at the bar, Big L saw everything she needed to see from both brothers. Meech wanted to party and buy up the bar, while T wanted it to be strictly business, you know. And as far as she was concerned, she chose wisely, right? Because you don't want nobody that's going to bring attention to you. All right. Anyway, guys, that's how the episode ended. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode, okay? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos like this one. Until next time, you guys take care and be blessed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.